The sun blazed over the village road, dust rising in small clouds as children gathered for the annual schoolyard race. Cheers rang out. Yet, standing at the edge, Kweku clutched his chest, his bare feet pressing into the hot ground. All the other boys had shoes, hand-me-down sneakers, sandals, even shiny pairs brought from town. "Run with what you have," Mama Efua had whispered that morning, kissing his forehead. But shame burned in his stomach as he saw them pointing, laughing. "Look, the barefoot boy." Still, when the whistle blew, Kweku ran. Dust scorched his soles, stones bit into his skin, but he flew forward with desperation. The crowd's laughter dimmed, replaced by gasps. His legs moved like fire itself, each stride stronger than the last. By the final stretch, he wasn't running from shame anymore. He was running towards something unseen. The cheers of victory still rang in the air, but Kweku could not celebrate for long. While other children were carried home on their parents' shoulders, he walked quietly beside Mama Efua, barefoot, his prize nothing more than pride. At home, their one-room clay hut sagged with age. The roof leaked when it rained, and their mats were worn thin. Mama Efua set down a small pot of watery porridge. She watched her son's tired feet, swollen and scratched from the race, and her heart ached. "Kweku," she whispered, "you run like the wind, but the world will not see you without shoes." Her words pierced him more than the stones on the track. He lowered his head. They both knew shoes were a luxury they could not afford. That night, while others in the village celebrated, Kweku lay awake staring at the cracked ceiling. His feet throbbed, but his heart throbbed more. He longed for a chance, not for wealth, not for praise, but for the dignity of standing equal to the others. Little did he know, destiny had already begun to notice him. The morning after the race, Kweku limped toward the village stream with a calabash in hand. His feet still stung, but his spirit remained restless. Along the path, children whispered about him, not with mockery this time but with awe. "Did you see how fast he was?" one boy said. At the stream, a man in a crisp white shirt and trousers approached, unusual in a village where most wore worn cloth. His presence drew stares. He was a schoolteacher from the town nearby, known for spotting talent. "You are Kweku, the barefoot runner?" the man asked, his voice firm but kind. Kweku nodded nervously, clutching his calabash tighter. "You ran with fire in your legs yesterday. There is a district competition in 2 weeks. I want you to represent the school." Kweku's mouth fell open. Shoes or not, destiny had just knocked. When he rushed home to tell Mama Efua, tears filled her weary eyes. She hugged him tight, whispering, "Maybe the world is finally ready to see you." The days leading to the district competition tested Kweku's spirit. Each dawn, he woke before the roosters, sprinting down dusty roads, his bare feet slapping the earth. The villagers watched in awe, some cheering, others doubting. "How far can a boy without shoes really go?" they muttered. The schoolteacher brought an old stopwatch, timing every run. "Faster, Kweku!" "Again!" he urged, his voice sharp but encouraging. With each stride, Kweku's lungs burned, his body begged for rest, but he refused to stop. Mama Efua often stood at the hut's doorway, watching her son push himself beyond limits. Pride swelled in her chest, but fear gripped her heart. What if his bare feet betrayed him on the big stage? Still, every night she prayed over him, whispering blessings. The evening before the competition, Kweku sat quietly, staring at the horizon. His feet were bruised, blistered, and raw, but his spirit blazed brighter than ever. He whispered to himself, "Shoes or no shoes, I will run." The district field buzzed with life. Banners fluttered, drums thundered, and children from different villages crowded the lanes in crisp uniforms. Some wore brand new shoes that gleamed in the sunlight. Kweku walked onto the track in his patched shorts and bare feet. A wave of whispers followed him. "Is he serious? Running barefoot?" sneered a boy in polished sneakers. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Kweku's chest tightened, but then he spotted Mama Efua in the stands, her eyes shining with pride and prayer. The schoolteacher gave him a firm nod from the sidelines. Strength returned to his trembling legs. The whistle blew. Runners exploded forward like arrows. The ground tore at Kweku's bare soles, but he leaned into the pain. His arms pumped, his breath came sharp, and with every stride he remembered the dust roads of his village. The crowd's laughter turned into murmurs of surprise. By the halfway mark, he wasn't just keeping up, he was pushing ahead. The final stretch loomed ahead, the finish line shining like a promise. Sweat streamed down Kweku's face, his chest heaving like drums of war. The boy in sneakers was a breath behind him, his polished shoes pounding the track. "Come on, Kweku!" The schoolteacher's voice cut through the roar of the crowd. Pain lanced through Kweku's feet, every step a stab of fire. For a heartbeat, he faltered. The boy in sneakers surged forward, smirking as victory seemed within reach. But then Kweku remembered his mother's prayers, the long roads of his village, the laughter of children who doubted him. A spark ignited inside him. He pushed harder, arms slicing the air, legs defying the pain. The crowd rose to their feet as Kweku crossed the finish line first, barefoot, blistered, but victorious. Silence swept the stadium before erupting into thunderous applause. Mama Efua wept openly, her tears shining like jewels. The boy who couldn't afford shoes had run into destiny.